Good evening, folks, and welcome to another Stobe the Hobo here in the Pacific Northwest, Seattle, Washington to be exact. Just enjoying a beautiful sunset at this nice dock, Elliott Bay Marina to be exact. Looking out at Elliott Bay. There's Mount Rainier. I've never done that Rainier. However, I have done that one. So anyway, I've just been here enjoying the nice, pleasant temperatures of the Northwest. It's like about 80 degrees here. Looking at all the beautiful sights. It could be the most scenic city in the entire country, if you ask me. You got this dock. You got this guy sailing out here. That looks like a lot of fun. But what really makes this place interesting, to be exact, I would say, would be that the train yard is just right over there. Between us and that AAA building, you got trains pulling through, stopping, going south. So it's late August and things are kind of cooling down here. So earlier in the summer during the extreme heat, obviously I was going through a lot of beer, but once we get into this nice, 65, 70 degrees, it's kind of time to switch to wine. So that's what we're going to be probably drinking for the next leg of the trip. $6 for this jug. And honestly, I mean, it does the same thing any other wine does. So, no snobbery on Stobe the Hobo. Those are seals. It's kind of hard to see from here. Obviously, I can't get into the dock. I'm just a guy drinking wine on the grass nearby. Sitting here by this marina with all these expensive sailboats and important guys driving past in Mercedes. Feeling a little bit more elegant. Also got some salami and some cheese and a baguette to make this experience truly luxurious. Like the owner of this mega yacht, I plan to travel comfortably in style and with ample tasty hors d'oeuvres and other stuff. The plan is as follows. Goal number 1, depart this marina and walk over to the train yard, where I will board the first train going south to Portland. At that point, I will meet with my accomplice, Wingman, the other member of KFC. From there, we will depart Portland on another train heading east, hopefully as far as Whitefish, Montana. And there, I will be close enough to my destination of Missoula, Montana. Goal number 2, remain mentally unencumbered with concepts such as day job, income, real life, boredom, dumb people, stupid things, cars. Goal number 3, maintain an adequate level of alcohol in my system at all times so that I am not forced to think about lofty topics such as why the world appears to really be going in the wrong direction right now. So one of the things about being a hobo, sometimes you gotta make tough decisions. Should I get on this train? Even though it's just going to Tacoma, you'll get out of town at least. Or should I go check out this new brewery? These are the kind of difficult decisions you have to make as a hobo in the 21st century. In 2016, there's a lot of grim stuff going on in the world, but the fact that this brewery opened where you can get this beer right by where trains are going slow, maybe things are not as grim as I thought. This is the Transfiguration Saison. I may be here a while. Just at about sunup, we've got this southbound pulling in nice and slow, and I need to move. I need to get on it because he's just waiting for the sounder to pass, I think. The sounder is the commuter train. So I gotta run down to that ride right there. Well, typical problem you're gonna run into in the Northwest. You've got this hipster, like Amazon.com freaking data center. I don't know what it is, dude. But it's in here and it's tinted. Naturally it has tinted windows so that the sunlight can't get in and bleach any of their beards. And I don't know if they can see or not. So it's kind of a little, really hoping this would come in the dark. I always say just get on the train and ask questions later. Fortunately, we've got this ride right here. It's not the best ride. It's time to go. Wow. This sucks. Look at these freaking huge holes here. Oh well. It's just gonna have to do. Stobe the Hobo out of Seattle, I'm hoping. So the train's gonna have to go through the whole waterfront and kind of be in sight for a little bit. But it's super early in the morning, so I'm not too worried about it. Didn't spot me leaving Seattle. It's going to be a very scenic trip. We're about 4 hours down to Portland, so I'm pretty thrilled. So one of the annoyances about this particular area between Seattle and Tacoma is you've got commuter hour, which means that this train is just going to stop all the time to let the Sounder train and the Amtrak Cascades, there's like one of those every hour. Look at this guy's right here, like glued to the deck of this rail car. Passing through Auburn right now. There's the track to Stampede Pass. It's supposed to be a really cool route. Not good. The train is pulling off the mains into this yard. Out way off the main track. Do not want this to happen. Wanted to just blaze through, go south all the way to Vancouver, but major bad news here. Down in Auburn, the train, according to an anonymous source, the train is dead ending in Tacoma, and that just doesn't work. We're stopped here. They're messing around with it. So this is definitely major lame, I would say. BNSF at times definitely is more FNBS, but fortunately, due to the fact that I still have my hors d'oeuvres and my wine, this is not terribly unpleasant here. Maybe a train will come through this station slow, I don't know. Oh, an interesting turn of events. I'm on another train, heading further south. I don't know what it's gonna do at Tacoma. No idea. It may go to a silo. I'm not sure if these cars are full or not. It's an all-grain train, but here we go. Well, we got a problem. I guess first of all, the wine ran out. That's not good. And second of all, the train is pulling off the main line in Kelso, Washington. As you can see, those two tracks over there, those are the main lines. This is definitely not on those anymore. So I guess whether it's that 70s show or a town in Washington, Kelso definitely sucks. The good news is that the interstate's right over there. I'm just gonna go hitchhike. This sucks, but I don't even want to know what's gonna happen with this thing. So just show you how lame FNBS is these days. The only train that just goes straight through anymore, I guess, is this garbage train, which means you get off smelling like a dumpster. A word of advice, if you're trying to go south out of Seattle, just ride UP and not FNBS, because it's just like, I don't know how many different stops they can make a dead end on this line on the way down, unless you get the trash bin. Well, anyway, long story made very short. I've been walking about 6 hours on the interstate, all the hell the way down here to Vancouver, Washington. So if you can't afford Vancouver, Canada, or you just like can't get into Canada, you can come to Vancouver, Washington, and say you've been to Vancouver. But anyway, I gotta walk down to the river, over the bridge, and a little further to meet up with my accomplice. Pretty much needs to be said that if you're into trains and you want to try doing this, you need to be prepared for some military style marches with a pack. This is about 16 miles from the place where I got dropped off in about 4 or 5 hours. So you got to get used to it, and you got to be able to deal with that kind of stuff, or you're not going to have a very fun time out here. Now, walking across the Columbia River into Oregon, the darkest hours of the night. Ducks like cheese, apparently. What's going on, folks? Stobe the Hobo here in Portland, and it's time to depart. Down at the island, hanging out with those ducks, but when the right train shows up, that means it's time to depart. So we got this BNSF intermodal train showing up here. I mean, I'm just looking at this train. This has got to be high priority. It's got FedEx, NFI, I don't know what that means, road rail. I guess it's like FedEx cars and stuff, which is definitely good for us. We got me, wingman, enjoying ourselves here by the Columbia River. The plan is probably just to stay on to Whitefish, Montana, recreate there in the woods at Whitefish Lake. So as far as alcohol supplies, we just got this box of wine, and you're saying that that's, let me see this. Well, that'll last till maybe tomorrow at the earliest hours.
I think we'll just enjoy the rest of it tonight.
So we're going to be going through the Columbia River Gorge, and unfortunately it's probably mostly going to be during the dark. Right now it's about dusk, like 8 p.m. or something. But in the morning we'll be arriving in western Montana, which should be pretty awesome. Stobe the Hobo, Wingman, and Stobe out of here on this high priority FedEx train. About to go over the Columbia River. Crossing the massive Columbia River here. It's about a mile wide at this point. Pasco bound. Pasco was